Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to dive into a captivating and mysterious topic from Christian history: the death of the Virgin Mary, the untold story of the life and passing of the Virgin Mary. This narrative is not only about faith but also filled with intriguing mysteries and legends. The life and passing of the Virgin Mary have been a subject of controversy and great interest. According to Christian belief, it's said that Mary ascended to heaven, body and soul, after her death. But how did this actually occur? One suggestion is that Mary passed away gently, as if falling into a peaceful slumber, and God called her to heaven. Another possibility holds that Mary didn't truly die but was taken up into heaven directly from her earthly form, much like the prophet Elijah in the Bible. Additionally, a story tells that the tomb of Mary in the Kidron Valley was opened after centuries and was found completely empty. This has led many to believe that God took her body to heaven without decay. Could this indicate a miracle? There are also stories that claim Mary died in an Indian town or lived her final years in Ephesus with her beloved apostle St. John. These various theories have sparked endless debates throughout religious history, further solidifying the Virgin Mary's image as both sacred and mysterious. How could a woman from Nazareth have left such a deep and lasting impact on millions around the world? What happened in her final moments? And did she really die as we commonly think? Let's uncover all of this in today's video, exploring historical records, legends, and the religious beliefs that have been shaped over time. Prepare yourself to explore the mysterious and profound journey of the Virgin Mary. A like might seem like a simple click, but it's a huge source of motivation for us to create even more captivating videos for you. Remember to hit subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the videos in our upcoming Discovery series. Over the centuries, the Virgin Mary has stood as a beacon of faith and humility, revered as the perfect mother of Jesus and the mother of humanity in Christian teachings. Stories passed down orally and recorded in religious texts for generations paint Mary as a figure surrounded by miracles and endless compassion. She represents unwavering faith and devotion to God, earning the veneration and prayers of millions around the world. But what transpired in the last moments of her life? Mary was chosen by God to bring the Savior into the world, a divine mission that also came with immense suffering. From her acceptance of the angel Gabriel's message, witnessing her son's crucifixion, to her own passing, each chapter of her life held profound significance. So why is there no detailed record of her death? Although the Virgin Mary appears in key moments in the New Testament, the Bible does not specifically mention her death. This has led to various interpretations. Some believe that Mary passed away peacefully and was welcomed by God into heaven. On the other hand, certain accounts suggest that Mary never died, but was simply assumed into heaven. There are also historical documents indicating that Mary spent her last years in Ephesus, a historical city in present-day Turkey, under the care of St. John the Apostle, as per Jesus' instructions on the cross. This enduring mystery of her death reflects her special place in Christian history. Epiphanius found no credible traditions regarding Mary's fate, and his writings revealed differing views. He noted three perspectives. Some believed she experienced a peaceful death. Others thought she died a martyr's death, while some maintained she did not die at all. According to Epiphanius, the Virgin Mary, like the prophet Elijah, may have been taken to heaven without experiencing death. This belief that she was assumed into heaven, body and soul, was echoed in later texts like De Obitu and De Transitu Virginis, likely composed in the 5th century. Writers such as Dionysius the Areopagite and Gregory of Tours also conveyed similar accounts. Their works contributed to the widespread belief in Mary's Assumption, which gained formal acceptance in the 8th century. St. John of Damascus described Mary's passing as witnessed by the apostles. The idea of the Virgin Mary's death is often connected to the Assumption of Mary, where she was taken to heaven in body and soul. Yet the specifics of how and when she died remain a mystery. Different Christian traditions, from Catholicism to Eastern Orthodoxy, offer diverse explanations, creating a rich and meaningful tapestry of her final chapter. No matter the differences, all these accounts converge on one key idea: Mary was far from an ordinary person. She was a part of God's divine plan, and her death, whether in Jerusalem, Ephesus, or elsewhere, stands as a symbol of faith, love, and unconditional sacrifice. This elevates Mary beyond being just the mother of Jesus, making her the spiritual mother of millions of Christians around the globe. Over the centuries, Mary has been a representation of faith, humility, and divine love, deeply revered by millions of Christians worldwide. As the mother of Jesus and acknowledged as the mother of all mankind in Christian tradition, her life was characterized by extraordinary events and significant trials, embodying her unwavering obedience and profound trust in God. Mary began her life as a simple girl in the quiet village of Nazareth. Her ordinary life was transformed when the angel Gabriel appeared, announcing that she had been chosen to give birth to God's Son. At the time, she was a young girl engaged to Joseph, a carpenter. Her agreement to the angel's message brought her into a new life filled with divine duties she could not have anticipated. In her humility, she accepted this calling, saying, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be done to me according to your word." Luke 1:38. This act of faith placed her at the heart of God's salvation plan and turned her into a symbol of courage, willingly embracing great sacrifices and challenges. In her Jewish community, becoming pregnant before marriage was a serious matter that could result in rejection or public shame. Yet her humility and complete faith in God carried her through these hardships. After giving birth to Jesus in Bethlehem under difficult conditions, Mary and Joseph fled to Egypt to escape King Herod's wrath. Their time as exiles in Egypt was challenging, yet filled with purpose. Upon their return to Israel, they settled in Nazareth, where Mary lovingly raised Jesus, fully aware of his divine mission. During Jesus' childhood and adolescence, Mary was a constant presence, witnessing all the stages of his life. One well-known biblical story recounts how Mary and Joseph, worried about their young son, searched for him when he was 12 years old. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, teaching with wisdom that amazed them. Mary often reflected on such moments, keeping them in her heart and trusting God's plan for her son. Mary stood by Jesus throughout his ministry, witnessing his miraculous deeds, and endured the unbearable sorrow of seeing him crucified on the cross. The sight of Mary standing beneath the cross, silently enduring the anguish of watching her son die, is one of the most poignant and significant moments in the New Testament. Many theologians view Mary's presence under the cross as a continuation of her fiat, her agreement from the past. Just as she accepted her role as the Mother of God, she now accepts the suffering of watching her son's death. Mary shares in Jesus' suffering in a deeply personal and intimate manner, with a faith that remains unwavering even in the most heartbreaking circumstances. At that moment, Jesus entrusted his mother to St. John, the beloved disciple. He said to Mary, "This is your son," and to John, "This is your mother." John 19:26-27. This act was not only an expression of care for his mother, but also marked the moment when Mary was given to all of humanity as the Holy Mother of all believers. From that moment on, St. John took her into his home and cared for her as his own mother. After the resurrection and ascension of Jesus, accounts of Mary's life became scarce. According to some Christian traditions and writings, she spent her final years in peace and prayer. There is a theory that she spent her last days in Ephesus, an ancient city in modern-day Turkey, where St. John took her to protect her from persecution. There, she lived in a small house in the peaceful natural surroundings, and this is believed to be where she passed away. Today, the House of Mary in Ephesus is a major pilgrimage site, attracting worshippers from all over the world who come to show their respect. However, some traditions maintain that she spent her final years in Jerusalem, where her body was buried in a tomb in the Kidron Valley after her passing. According to Eastern Orthodox believers, this tomb was found empty when opened, leading them to believe that Mary was taken into heaven without undergoing bodily decomposition. This event is celebrated as the Dormition of the Theotokos. In the Roman Catholic Church, one of the most deeply held beliefs is that Mary was assumed into heaven, both body and soul, after completing her earthly journey. In 1950, Pope Pius XII declared the Assumption of Mary as a dogma, formally affirming this belief as an article of faith. This event marked a significant point in Catholic teaching, asserting that Mary, in her purity and grace, was taken to heaven without her body undergoing decay. Although there are various theories surrounding Mary's last years and death, believers all agree on one point: she was especially favored by God. Her life was not only a story of sacrifice, patience, and unwavering faith, but also a source of inspiration for millions of people worldwide. Whether peaceful or through her Assumption, Mary's death continues to be a sacred enigma that deeply resonates with Christians around the globe. For centuries, nations held on to their distinct beliefs until recently, when scientists discovered her true burial site, a tomb that had been sealed for ages. In Jerusalem, Mary's tomb is located in the Kidron Valley, a valley of historical and spiritual significance situated between Jerusalem and the Mount of Olives. It is surrounded by iconic sites like the Garden of Gethsemane and the Church of All Nations. The Kidron Valley is prominently mentioned in the Bible and is the resting place of many saints, prophets, and significant figures in the religious history of Judaism and Christianity. It is believed that numerous pivotal events in Israel's religious history unfolded here, making the valley a symbolic bridge between heaven and earth for the faithful. Amid this sacred landscape, Mary's tomb has become a major pilgrimage destination. The site is meticulously preserved and guarded, with ancient stairs descending into an underground space filled with darkness and tranquil silence. Yet, when the tomb, sealed for millennia, was opened, it was found empty, with no sign of Mary's body. This discovery inspired countless believers to see it as proof of Mary's Assumption into heaven. The event has not only puzzled scientists and historians, but also reignited enduring beliefs and debates within the Christian community. To many, the empty tomb is living proof of Mary's ascension, a divine miracle attributed solely to God. Theologians have interpreted the empty tomb as a sacred sign that Mary experienced a unique journey, being taken to heaven bodily and avoiding the natural process of decay. This belief affirms that Mary's unwavering faith and purity earned her a special departure granted by God. Historical and theological records reveal that as early as the 6th century, the Eastern Church officially recognized Mary's dormition as a core tenet of its teachings, highlighting her divine Assumption as a testament to her unparalleled holiness. On August 15th every year, Christians around the world celebrate the Assumption of Mary. This day is considered her spiritual birthday and a time for the faithful to reflect on and honor her life. In countries such as France, Italy, Portugal, and Spain, this is a public holiday, during which people take a break from work to gather in churches for prayer services, light candles, and praise the Virgin Mary. This celebration is not only a time for remembrance, but also an occasion for believers to show gratitude and seek Mary's intercession. Catholics hold that Mary is not only the mother of Jesus, but also the mother of all Christians, ever ready to listen and intercede for those in distress. In places like Fatima in Portugal and Guadalupe in Mexico, millions of pilgrims visit every year to seek comfort and protection from Mary. Devotion to Mary in these places is expressed through sacred processions, where pilgrims offer flowers and light candles, representing their faith and hope. The Assumption of Mary is considered one of the most sacred doctrines in Catholicism, officially declared by Pope Pius XII on November 1, 1950. The Church sees this as a sign of God's deep love and favor for Mary. This doctrine asserts that Mary was assumed into heaven, both body and soul, without undergoing physical decay. In contrast, the Eastern Orthodox Church emphasizes the dormition of Mary, where she died naturally, and her soul was taken into heaven. While there is no required dogma in Orthodox theology regarding Mary's bodily assumption, the tradition holds to a belief in a miraculous event surrounding her death. Numerous ancient legends and stories surround the death of Mary, including one about St. Thomas, believed to be the only apostle to witness Mary's Assumption. According to an ancient tradition, St. Thomas was left in India and could not be present in Jerusalem when Mary passed. However, he was later transported to Jerusalem just as Mary was being taken up to heaven, and he witnessed the sacred moment. His leaving behind Mary's belt as evidence became a powerful symbol of the Christian faith in God's divine presence during sacred moments. Apparitions of the Virgin Mary are a key element in Christian history. The most renowned apparitions occurred in Fatima, Lourdes, and Guadalupe, where Mary delivered messages of peace, repentance, and God's mercy to the world. In Fatima, Portugal, the Virgin Mary appeared to 3 children, urging them to pray for peace and the improvement of humanity. This is a deep reminder of Mary's love and concern for everyone. Mary's life is not just a story of a loving mother, but also a profound lesson in faith and courage. She endured the pain of losing her son at the cross and faced every challenge with faith and love. She is an inspiration to millions, a symbol of dedication and compassion. Her figure not only inspires Christians but also echoes in many other cultures and religions. With centuries of faith and tradition, Mary's Assumption remains a symbol of profound faith and endless respect for the Christian mother. Thank you for watching the story of Mary's life and departure. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment with your opinion, give us a like, and click on one of the videos that will appear next to continue watching. May you always be blessed and protected by the love of the Virgin Mary.